on we go. Hello, you guys. Welcome to the first VHS DVD review of the year. I haven't done one in a while, so we are finally doing another one. So today is the first DVD review is going to be, drumroll, Thomas and Friends, The Chocolate Crunch and Other Stories. Introducing in the season 6 episodes. I once had a series 4 DVD. I really wanted to do a DVD review of Thomas and Friends, The Fogger Man and Other Stories, but I couldn't find it. So, this is the one that we'll have to do. We're going to split it into 2 parts. This is going to be part 1, and part 2 is going to be pulling together on DVD. Got that? Yes. And that's Thomas himself. Percy, covered in chocolate. There's the back. There's eight episodes released in 2002, perhaps, and the running time is approximately 44 minutes. So guys, sit back and relax and get some snacks and a drink if you want to, because this DVD review is going to be 44 minutes to an hour long. There's Thomas himself. We got the VCI logo. And now, with no further ado, I shall put the disc onto the DVD player, get the camera ready, and we'll get straight into the review. And let's get started. That's more like it. Let me zoom in a bit further. Okay, that's more like it. Wish me luck. On we go. There's the BCI logo. There's the Hit Entertainment logo. We're splitting it up into 2 parts. So brace yourselves. There's Thomas himself. Da, da, da. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Okay, that's more like it. That's much better. Let's say. The first episode is Percy's Chocolate Crunch.
The Fat Controller's engines love being shiny and clean. It makes them feel cheerful as they puff across the island of Sodor.
Ring bell.
Percy often has the dirtiest work to do, but he likes to be clean as well as any other engine. So washdowns are important to Percy.
Let me zoom
But the
in.
Fat Controller had bad
Bit
news.
further.
Due to a water shortage, he said, no engine shall have more than one washdown a day. Usefulness before cleanliness, he added, and left. Percy was upset. I get dirty, he complained. I need washdowns. Gordon only does it to feel important. I am important, Gordon sniffed. I'm an express engine. You're a pouty puffer, Percy, teased James. No, I'm not, wheezed Percy, and he chuffed away. Percy was loading trucks at the docks. He was trying extra hard to stay clean, but the troublesome trucks were being naughty. As Percy pushed them under the coal chute, they sang out. On, they cried. Percy found himself under the chute, and coal dust flew everywhere. Oh, no, coughed Percy, I'm filthy. Percy felt awful, but he knew he had to carry on.
This must be my lucky day,
On the way to
say.
Callan Station, the troublesome trucks teased Percy even more. Clickety-clack, don't look back, dirty Percy's on our track. Be quiet, Percy snapped. When Percy arrived at Callan Station, he was very upset. From now on, I'm only doing work where I won't get dirty, he said. Harold, the helicopter, was at Callan Station picking up medical supplies. Hello, Percy, he called.
Hiya, Harold. It's Harold on his heli tour. It's Harold. And on his heli tour.
Percy cried, I want a washdown. Usefulness before cleanliness, reminded his driver. I want to be useful where I can't get dirty, Percy huffed. There's a load of sugar going to the chocolate factory, his driver said. We could take the sugar trucks. Sugar, said Percy. That's nice and clean. Percy was pleased. Percy didn't know that earlier a leaky truck had spilled oil on the track. When he approached the chocolate factory, his driver applied the brakes, but Percy's wheels just skidded on the oily rails. Oh no! Hooted Percy. He groaned. I've never been this dirty.
I've never seen him like that before.
Firebox in sticky, gooey chocolate.
The side trombone.
Thought it was very funny. You
Yes.
tweet, Thomas hooted.
We've never seen him like that before.
Showcase on wheels, chipped in Henry.
Yes.
Graceful, said Gordon pompously.
That's odd.
Said a stern-sounding voice. It was the Fat Controller. You've had a trying day, Percy, he said. Yes, sir, replied Percy from beneath the chocolates. But you've shown us all that usefulness does come before cleanliness. So, he added, you shall have your washdown. Oh, sir, and a new coat of paint. Percy just beamed.
Breakfast. Look what you've done. Look what you've done. So I brought breakfast. So I brought breakfast. Now I will have to cook some. Look what you've done. Look what you've done. So I look what you've done. Breakfast. Stay tuned for another story coming your way. One of them goes off key in G minor, where it goes down to tune. The next episode is Jack jumps in.
Spring morning on the island of Sodor.
It's going so well.
The Fat Controller had sent him to collect a special from Jenny Packard. Spot on, Thomas, Miss Jenny said. You'd make a mother proud. Thanks, Miss Jenny, he said. Is this my special? Very special, she answered. I'm Jack, the front loader, he whirred proudly. I can load and unload and carry lots of things. I can haul and shunt, boasted Thomas. And I can get you two chatterboxes off to the quarry, laughed Miss Jenny.
Off you go, Thomas. Ready, Thomas?
Is this your first job at the quarry? Called Thomas. It's my first job on the island, Jack called back.
Yes,
Look
Jack.
out for Max, Thomas added. He's trouble.
Like Bowser
Soon, Thomas delivered Jack
from
to the
Super
quarry.
Mario and Dr. Eggman.
All the machines were busy preparing the site for new railway tracks. Jack
It's like
couldn't wait
Bob
to
the
jump in.
Builder.
He scooted towards a big excavator.
It's like Joey JCB.
I'm Jack, can I help? Oh my, no, Oliver replied calmly. Help Byron. Byron the bulldozer was shoving rock and rubble with his giant blade. I'm Jack, can I help? I don't need help, boomed Byron. Try Kelly the crane. I'm Jack, he whirred cheerfully. Mind my paint, snapped the lorry. Isabella, scolded Kelly. Sorry, welcome to the pack. And if you want to work, said Kelly. See the foreman, Isabella said cheekily. He's in charge. The foreman introduced Jack to his banksman. I'm here to help you work safely, said the banksman. No speeding and no horseplay, added the foreman. Now go and help Alfie. Yes, sir, replied Jack eagerly, and he raced off. Remember, called the banksman, safety first. Alfie is an excavator. He makes the hardest job seem like play. I'm Jack. I'm here to help. More help means more dirt means more fun. I'm Alfie. Jack and Alfie were working hard and having wonderful fun. Suddenly, a huge dump truck roared by. Max, Alfie cried. So that's Max, said Jack. Thomas was right, he is trouble. Look out, Jack, cried Alfie. Max stopped just in time. Jack refused to move. Stop bullying, said Jack bravely. Can't you take a joke? Max grumbled and dieseled away. Thank you, Jack, said Alfie. Then the foreman shouted, Oliver, move this rock. I'll do it, cried Jack. Jack scooped a bucket full of rock. Stop, shouted his banksman. But he didn't stop. He was too eager to help. No, shouted Isabella, but it was too late. Oh no! Jack sputtered. Miss Jenny was glad Jack wasn't hurt, but she was disappointed. Safety first, she said firmly, means you don't rush in where you don't belong. I'm sorry, Miss Jenny, Jack said sadly. Maybe you're not ready for the backside, Miss Jenny. We'll see if you can do better tomorrow. After Miss Jenny returned to the yards, Jack was sad. Isabella could see he was unhappy. You're a good front loader, she said. And a good friend, said Alfie. Being a good friend is important, said Thomas. That
Right,
made Jack
Thomas.
feel just a bit better.
I agree. To our breakfast. Look what you've done. Look what you've done. To our breakfast. To our breakfast. Now I will have to cook some. Look what you've done. Look what you've done. Look what you've done. Breakfast. Look what you've done. Breakfast. Another one coming right up. Stay tuned. This is not law. The world's strongest engine. This is not a long one. You say?
The engines on the island of Sodor like feeling responsible, reliable, and really useful. They work hard to complete their jobs on time. They don't like confusion and delay. But the troublesome trucks delight in mischief, and their mischief causes trouble, as poor Henry found out. Henry has had an accident and been sent for repairs, said the Fat Controller. There are no other engines available, so Diesel will help until Henry returns. Yes, sir, puffed the engines, but they weren't happy. The engines didn't like Diesel. He was always being rude and always showing off. I hope Henry's mended soon, said Percy. He moves more trucks than 3 Diesels put together, agreed Thomas. Trucks are no one's friend, puffed Gordon. The next day, Diesel was working at the docks. When the Fat Controller sees how good I am, he bragged to the trucks, he'll get rid of steam engines once and for all. This gave the troublesome trucks an idea. As Diesel shunched them together, they started to sing. Is that all you can haul? Henry's loads are longer. Is that all you can haul?
Like that singing.
He was sure that he was strong.
So I had to do Lizzie laughing.
All at the same time, he said. The trucks giggled. That's the longest. Push us all. You'll be the strongest. That's it. The world's strongest engine. And Diesel shunted 5 trucks together. Then 10. Then 15.
15?
Soon he had
That's
an enormous
low.
line of 20 trucks. What's Diesel doing? Cried Percy. He thinks he's the world's strongest engine.
Right,
replied
Thomas.
Diesel didn't know the shunters had set the brakes on the trucks. The troublesome trucks knew, but encouraged Diesel to push anyway. Push, push, push! And he pushed, and he pushed. But the trucks didn't move, so Diesel decided to pull
Try
the trucks
pulling,
instead.
Diesel. Here we go. Like that one.
Diesel very cross. He pulled
What?
and he pulled and he pulled and he pulled. Help! the trucks laughed and the thank you looked crossly at Diesel. I thought you would be a proper dockyard diesel, but I was wrong, he said. Can you make up for lost time, Henry? Oh, yes, sir, Henry replied happily. He backed up to the trucks and the shunters released the brakes. Henry pulled the as pie. And the engines cheered. Diesel
Hooray!
was sent home in disgrace. But the engines had learned a lesson.
What is it?
Even troublesome trucks can do you a favour sometimes, chuffed Thomas.
Right, Thomas.
Like getting rid of smelly old Diesel, puffed Percy.
Another one coming right up. Stay tuned. Brace yourselves for another story. The next one is Middle Engine. Oh, that's my favourite. We all agree that this is my favourite episode of all time. You know it's my favourite. But I know Splinter hates it, but I can handle his
The Fat
opinion.
Controller's engines love their work. Gordon likes pulling the express. Thomas likes his branch line. And Percy likes taking the mail. But none of them likes being a middle engine. It's no fun being stuck in the middle. One morning, Percy was cheerfully collecting coal trucks from the smelter yards where Harry and Bert worked. They like to play tricks on steam engines. Percy didn't want to fall for their tricks again. But before he knew it, he was stuck in the middle. Oh, bother, chuffed Percy crossly. Little green piggy in the middle.
Little green piggy in the middle.
Trucks in front of him and trucks behind, Percy had to go slowly. James was in the yard.
It's going
when
so
Percy slowly
well.
by. It's slow coach Percy, James laughed. You wouldn't be laughing if you were stuck in the middle, Percy fumed. And he fumed all the way to the coaling plant. One by one, he shunted his trucks onto the tipper's loading ramp, and the coal was unloaded. Percy was not allowed to cross the loading
My
ramp
favourite part's
until the
coming
tipper
up.
had been turned off. It was against the rules.
Until the timer was turned off, but soon there was trouble.
Henry arrived to pick up coal. He bumped into the trucks,
And they
trucks
bumped
bumped
into Percy.
Percy was pushed onto the loading ramp. Help! cried
Help,
Percy,
I'm not a
lost
truck.
But no one heard him. Percy was hoisted up,
What?
tipped over, and brought back down again. After Percy
The
was
manager
left
was
onto the
very
ground, the manager
cross.
was very
Because
cross.
you of course could be in the light. He said, oh, I have to board this to my controller.
Right, the Fat Controller spoke severely to Percy.
Oh, I'm very disappointed in you, Percy.
He said,
You're not against the walls, the nose against the wall.
Sorry, sir, Percy said sadly, but it
Percy,
wasn't my fault.
oh, I don't even know,
Nevertheless,
Percy.
you will shut trucks in the yard until I can get to the bottom of this,
Ah.
said James. I for that loads diesels with bent buffers and a busted boiler. Then you will do Percy's run to the smelter. Yes, sir, said James. The next day, James arrived at the smelter. He was determined not to be tricked by
Determined
Arthur.
not. You are caused to delay. I have to for
James,
this.
used Harry. Can't I learn a thing or two from Duncan?
Controller was angry.
Just
I'm
get my trucks ready and
disappointed.
stay out of my way.
You know, it's against them was to go on the
Yes, sir,
tipper.
said John breezily.
Tipper.
James cheerfully backed up to his trucks.
Certain
He
he'd
was
fooled
fooled Harry
them.
at first, but he was wrong.
But he was wrong.
Little red
Little piggy in the middle.
just like Percy. Cheered Bert.
Oh,
I am
that
not
piggy
like Percy,
in the
of James. I am
man.
not a middle engine, and I'm
Not
not
moving.
moving.
And he didn't.
Controller heard the news. He
When the
sent
power
Percy to
controller
fetch James.
heard, he sends Percy.
He buffered up to James and took him along with all the trucks to the docks. Right on time, said the manager. But what is that big red engine doing
What
in
does
the
that
middle?
red engine do?
Learning.
Learning
Percy
to be a
replied.
middle
Learning
engine.
what? Learning to be a middle engine.
James tried to hide in his steam, but there's only one big red engine on
There is only one big red
it.
engine on the island, and everyone knows his name is James.
Now I will have to cook some more. Look what you've done, look what you've done, so I look what you've done, breakfast. Is Thomas going off in a trap mode? Good. Next one coming up. Another one coming up. Buff for Bobber. Oh yes, my favourite. This is my favourite. We agree that this is my favourite episode of all time. I love this one.
Bill and Ben are quarry engines.
Bill and Ben, the old one of it is classic.
Together,
Bill and
they
Ben,
shunt trucks together.
they're known as the Flower Pot Men.
They even
Bill and
shunt
Ben.
naughtiness together.
High-pitched tooting. Where you find Mario, you will find Luigi. And wherever you find Luigi, you'll find Mario. Won't you?
The Fat Controller had
I
come
was
to inspect his
inspecting
quarry
his
engines.
quarry
He
engines.
found that Mavis and Bill were in fine working order. Unfortunately,
Ben,
Ben,
your
the Fat
butt
Controller
was
said, your
damaged.
buffers are damaged. You must report to the
You must get a
engine
new
works
set.
immediately for a new
Mavis,
set of buffers.
work with Bill in the
Mavis, you will have to work with
meantime.
Bill until Ben returns. Yes, sir, replied Mavis, and the Fat Controller drove away. Ben was happy. I'm going to get
I'm
new
getting
buffers.
new
he told
buffers.
But I should get new
I
buffers
do
too, Bill
it
complained.
too.
We're twins, we do
We
everything
do
together.
everything
But
together.
You
You don't need them.
You're
You only
getting new
do
buffers
because
you're clumsy, snorted Bill enviously. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. Will you two stop
Will
being
you stop
grouchy?
being grouchy?
Now, come on, Bill. We've got work to do.
We must work. I just love this episode so much. You know it's my favourite. They watched Ben go to the engine works.
He was green with envy. He wanted new buffers too. Bill returned to his job, but he wasn't thinking about
Who
work.
could think
All
about
he
it
could
was
think
Ben's
about
new
was
buff.
Ben's new and stop thinking about
Stop
Ben's
thinking
new
about
buffers.
Ben.
Bill tried thinking
About
about
birds and
He tried thinking
trees.
about trees. He tried thinking about anything but Ben and his brand new buffers. But it didn't work. I want new buffers too.
Be
he
happy
cried.
you're not
Just
damaged.
Be happy you're in good working
Here we
order,
go.
said Mavis. It's not fair,
Be happy
Bill.
you're not
And he
damaged.
wished soot all over Mavis. Bill, gasped Mavis. Oops, sorry, said Bill. Bill tried his best to get on with his work, but the Troublesome Trucks had spotted a chance for a tease. Poor Bill, he works, he suffers, while Benny's twin gets brand new buffers. This made Bill very cross. I might not have new buffers, he said, but I still know how to biff a truck.
No!
But it was too late. Ben puffed into the quarry with his shiny new buffers just in time to hear, "Bust my buffers," cried Bill.
I think you have seven. Wah, 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 wah.
When the Fat Controller arrived and saw Bill's broken buffers, he was not happy. "You have behaved badly, Bill," the Fat Controller said. "Do you have anything to say for yourself?" "Yes, sir.
Only Bill,
I'm
he
sorry,
said.
sir," said Bill. "Before you get new buffers," the Fat Controller continued, "I want you to think about what it means
what a
to be a
responsible
responsible,
engine
reliable
is.
engine." "Yes, sir," answered Bill meekly. After the Fat Controller had left, Ben rolled up to Bill with his new buffers gleaming. "They are nice buffers," Bill said. "Thanks," Ben said. "I'm sorry I teased you." "That's all right," Bill said. "I was naughty too." "Of course you were," said Ben. "We're twins."
There's only 3 more to go. Not far to the end. Thomas the jet engine.
Gordon is a very proud steam engine. He's the fastest engine on the island of Soho. He loves swinging along his line with the wind blowing across his funnel. "You've broken the record again," said his driver. "I'm the fastest," boasted Gordon. But not all the engines were impressed. "Speed isn't everything," said James smugly. "But being reliable and useful is," said Thomas. "You slow engines will never understand," snorted Gordon, "because you'll never go as fast as me." The Fat Controller arrived with news of a special for Thomas. "I want you to collect the jet engine and take it to the airfield." "What's a jet engine?" asked Percy. "A jet engine goes forward by pushing hot air out of its back," the Fat Controller said. "Just like when you blow up a balloon and let it go," added Thomas. "It's very
You're
fast."
right, Thomas!
Thomas likes making special deliveries for the Fat Controller. It makes him feel special. But secretly, he wished he could go as fast as Gordon.
I wish I had a jet engine.
Thomas arrived at the docks excited to see the jet engine. It was shiny and modern, and Thomas had never seen anything like it. He just couldn't wait to start his journey, but Cranky was taking his time. "Hurry up," puffed Thomas. "This is a special. Cranky did not like being told what to do, especially by an engine. He became so cranky that he was careless with his hook. His hook knocked the switch, and the switch started the jet engine, and the engine began to whine. The whine got louder and louder and louder. Oh, said Cranky. Before he could say anything else, the jet engine was rocketing Thomas up the track.
I've never seen it like that before.
The driver tried to put on the brakes, but Thomas couldn't stop. Oh, boy! The station master called ahead. Clear the lines, it's a runaway train. Signals were changed and points were switched. Thomas had never been so excited. Thomas flew by James and rocketed past Henry and raced by Percy. They were amazed. Bertie was excited when he saw Thomas flying down the track. Want a race, Thomas? Never mind. No one had ever seen an engine go so fast. Gordon had no idea that Thomas was racing along the main line. I am the fastest, said Gordon proudly. Hi, Gordon. Hi, Gordon. Gordon could not believe what he had seen. At last, the jet engine ran out of fuel, and Thomas was back under his own power. He steamed gently back into Knapford Station. Sorry for overtaking you back there, Gordon. Overtake me? I didn't notice, Gordon huffed. You didn't notice the fastest engine on the island, said Henry. Yes, I am the fastest, puffed Thomas. Percy felt a little sorry for Gordon. Gordon doesn't have to go as fast as a jet engine. He's a steam engine. But he's still full of hot air, whistled James, and Gordon wheeshed away.
Next one coming right up. And now it's time for Duncan, my favourites.
Rusty Rheneas of Scarlowy chugged cheerfully through the Sodor countryside. The engines were going to help Duncan with an important job at the Incline Railway. The engines enjoyed working at the Incline Railway. They liked the clever way the loaded trucks roll down the incline, pulling the empty trucks up, but they are always careful. Duncan doesn't like working at the incline railway. He is always impatient to get back to the junction. This makes him careless and gets him into lots of trouble. Rusty hoped Duncan would stay out of trouble today, but he was already in too much of a hurry. I'm a plain-speaking engine, gruffed Duncan, so collect your trucks and be quick about it. And off he steamed. Bossy boots, chuffed Rheneas. Pushy puffer, huffed Skarloey. They didn't like Duncan telling them what to do. He just wants to get back to the bustle of the junction, Rusty said. Duncan wanted everyone to work faster. You're supposed to be helping me, he grumbled, but you're as slow as snails. We are proper engines, Rusty huffed crossly. We follow the rules. We can't send up more than 4 trucks at a time, chuffed Rheneas. Then work faster, said Duncan impatiently. Later that day, Duncan was working the incline. I'll show you how fast a really useful engine can work, Duncan called, as he hastily biffed one truck into another, and then another. Soon, Duncan had his 4 trucks. Nothing to it, he boasted to Rusty. Those trucks will pay you back, warned Rusty. Trucks don't like to be biffed. I can handle trucks, he cried. The 3 little engines could see Duncan was not going to listen. They carefully trundled away from the incline with their trucks full of slate. Duncan was so impatient he became even more careless. I'll show that smelly diesel and those lazy steamers, he said to his driver. Careful, cautioned his driver. You're asking for trouble, and he got it. Duncan didn't notice his chain was tangled in the coupling of the truck in front of him. Suddenly, he was being pulled up the track by the empty trucks. Birds and buffers, he cried.
Birds and buffers? I never heard someone say it before.
Clear. Rusty returned to see Duncan being pulled up the incline. I tried to warn him, said Rusty. He never listens, the little diesel's driver said. The chain pulling Duncan's trucks couldn't hold the weight. It suddenly snapped. Help! He yelled. He said, Duncan felt foolish and very wet. When the Fat Controller arrived, he spoke severely to Duncan. You have not been a responsible engine, he said. Your impatience has caused confusion and delay, and you owe these engines an apology. Sorry, Duncan said to Rusty, Rheneas and Skarloey. Once you have been repaired, the Fat Controller said, you will work the incline until you learn to be patient and careful. Yes, sir, said Duncan.
It's time for the final episode. Faulty whistles. The end is nigh.
It was early morning on the island of Sodor. Duncan was waiting for Peter Sam, who was bringing some trucks for him to take to Strawberry Grove. Duncan was also to take the headmaster and a new organ. While they waited, the headmaster played a lively tune. Peter Sam had steamed all through the night to bring Duncan his wagons. But as he approached the junction, a low-hanging branch knocked his whistle off. This meant he couldn't work until he got a new one. I can't run on the tracks without my whistle, chuffed Peter Sam. That would be too dangerous. An engine's not an engine without a whistle, boasted Duncan, and just to prove it, he let off a big blast. But the rest of the engines just ignored him. Duncan chuffed away in a big huff. He was cross. They're jealous of our fine whistle, Duncan huffed, as he steamed through the countryside. He whistled at some sheep, but they were too busy eating grass to take notice. Bah, said Duncan. I need to whistle louder and longer next time. Soon Duncan approached a level crossing, where Elizabeth the quarry lorry waited with a farmer's prize bull. This time, Duncan whistled as loud and as long as he could. Said the bull. Stop that nonsense, Duncan, Elizabeth called. But Duncan carried on cheerfully down the track. But he hadn't noticed his whistle had come loose. Then Duncan saw Terence ploughing the field. He'll get the loudest and the longest whistle yet, he chortled to himself. And he blew so hard his whistle shot off like a mighty rocket and landed out of sight. Everyone searched for Duncan's whistle, but it was nowhere to be seen. We're stuck, said his driver. We can't move without a whistle. It would be too dangerous. Leave it to me, the headmaster said. For the rest of the day, Duncan didn't make a sound, but the headmaster's organ did. As Duncan delivered his trucks, the headmaster tooted the organ at every crossing and every stop. It alerted everyone, just as well as a whistle would, although Duncan didn't think so. Finally, Duncan finished delivering the last of his trucks. Duncan steamed quietly back to the junction as the headmaster played the organ. Look, Rusty teased, it's Duncan the musical engine. Let's whistle along, said Rheneas. Toot, toot, said Scarloey, but Peter Sam, who had a shiny new whistle, felt sorry for Duncan. You really did well to deliver your goods without a whistle, he said. Do you think so? Said Duncan, cheering up a bit. Absolutely, said Peter Sam, even though an engine's not an engine without a whistle. Or an organ, chuckled the headmaster, and he tooted the organ. And all the engines tooted back, except Duncan, who just grinned.
There's the Hits Entertainment logo. So yeah guys, that's it for the Thomas and Friends Chocolate Crunch DVD. Thank you so much for watching the movie. Hope you enjoyed it. We got part 2 coming up soon. Later on. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you all in my next DVD review. Goodbye everyone.